Okay, just one moment, folks. We have to go up, come out of our non-public. Court does call the case, People versus Anthony Dobbin.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Dobbin. Mr. Dobbin, if you can state your name in full.
Yes, my name is Anthony Lavelle Dobbin.
All right, what are we doing today?
Your Honor, this case is up for a bond violation. He would like to admit to the violation with some explanation.
Okay.
So I did have the opportunity to meet with the client this morning. The violation is for drinking. Whenever I met with him, he did explain to me that his dad was diagnosed with stage 2 Alzheimer's. Him and his dad are very close. So at that time, he kind of lost it. He doesn't really have much of a support system or anybody that he's able to go talk to. So because of that, he did drink. He is understanding that he is no longer allowed to drink because he is on bond. He did state that he won't do it again. He's been in there for 12 days. I think that's the best lesson to be learned, is that if he keeps playing around, he will be incarcerated, which he does not want. So we would be asking for his release. He does have a 4-year-old son, as well as a 20-year-old daughter with a disability that he takes care of. He has a child support hearing next week that he'd like to attend and be present at. And he also has medical issues. So for all of those reasons, we would ask for his release. And then we would also ask for an adjournment to allow some negotiations as to a plea deal.
Sure, anything you want to say before I sentence you on the violation?
Yes, sir. I know I made a major mistake knowing that I was already on a personal recognizance bond. Like I said, my dad, my parents both, once they retired from Michigan, they moved back to their respective states. And like I said, after I came into your courtroom on the 3rd, and they said that the case had been, I guess I was late and some kind of mix up, and so they gave me some paperwork and said that my hearing would be reheard today on the 16th. I went over to community services, paid my supervising fee, talked to Miss Dorsey, showed her the piece of paper, showed her the work. Next day, I called that morning. Well, that night after I got home, my sister and my stepmother called me and told me that it was confirmed that my father, who is in his mid-80s, was confirmed with 2nd stage Alzheimer's. And at the time, I had no contact with my fiance. And so I did drink. And so when the next day I called, my number came up. I thought I was okay. Evidently I wasn't. And so I do admit to the drinking violation. I'm man enough to step up to that. The thing now, I just need to, was already in the process of trying to take care of my alcohol addiction. I've talked to, which they were saving me in bed once I got detoxed. They just didn't have enough room at Oakdale. They didn't have a staff for their detox, to run their detox program. And they said once I was figured out how to get into a detox program, I didn't figure out to get into it this way, but and so that is still my plan.
Sir, I'm going to follow the recommendation of your attorney, but if you want to go on, you can. You have the right to allocute that.
I didn't understand.
I said you can keep going on. I was going to follow the recommendation of your attorney.
I'm sorry. I was just being upfront and honest with you. That's all.
Anything else you want to say?
No, sir.
Sentence of the court, 12 days Washington County Jail, credit 12 days served, defendant to be placed on a sober link unit through community corrections. His previous bond conditions are reinstated and a personal recognizance bond. Pretrial will be adjourned to October 30th, 2023, 1 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Yes.
And we stop you? No, go ahead.
Okay. As far as the alcohol, is there a cost for that?
There will
There
be a
is a
cost
cost.
for that.
There is a cost. We can discuss that off the record. You should have my phone number.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good day. Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Marcus Jackson.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Ina O'Brien on behalf of the defendant, who's also present and appearing via Zoom.
Sir, please state your name.
Marcus Jackson.
All right.
Preet Player on behalf of probation. Your Honor, the victim, Anna, is present. She would like to address the court. I spoke with her at length and she is asking that the court lift the no contact order.
All right. Ma'am, was there anything else you wanted to tell me?
Anna.
Are you talking to me, Judge?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon. Yes. I'd like the no contact to be removed, please. I realized that the reason why you did that is you were just doing your job to protect me, but in this case, I absolutely need no protection. I feel absolutely safe. With this no contact that was put in place, it has been really hard, like for me and the kids, you know, to go to sports, if I'm home and not feeling well, to be able to take into school. They're asking about Marcus every day, doing family things, just doing things that what we're used to in general has been really hard. So the no contact, when it was first put in place, then you did take it off. After that, nothing happened for it to be put in place. And I guess me learning all this is all new to me, by the way. So I realized that I guess it was the Michigan law, but I'll be honest with you, it's absolutely not needed. There's no harm. I actually feel unsafe being here alone without him. As you know, as a mom with 2 kids. So if you can please take the no contact off, I would appreciate it. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Do the people have a position regarding the no contact?
Your Honor, I'm always concerned with regard to the no contact order, and the best way to keep the victim safe is to keep that separation. So I understand her wishes, but I can't, I don't agree with that.
Ms. Valero, you've spoken with her regarding that, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I did speak with Anna at length about that. I do know that the court had allowed contact in the past, but prior to that, then when he went to trial, I think that it was put back into place due to him being found guilty, and for her safety. I mean, I spoke with her at length. She's very adamant that she would like to have the contact, and probation would, you know, leave it up to the court's discretion.
All right, counsel, go ahead. Are there any material deletions, corrections, or additions to the report?
No, Your Honor.
Anything you or your client want to say before I impose sentence?
Yes, Your Honor. We would also reiterate the request, Your Honor, to reinstate the consensual contact only provision as opposed to the no contact. As Ms. Gavorkian has confirmed today, Your Honor, from the time that you entered the consensual only contact and lifted the no contact order up until September 18th, when you rendered your decision, there were no violations of that. There were no problems. We understand why you reinstated the no contact provision, Your Honor. However, we would ask at this time that you would reinstate the consensual only contact provision that was in place. Again, there's been no problems. These parties are nearing the end of the divorce, and it looks like we've got pretty much everything settled. And I can't speak for Ms. Gevorkian, but I do know that Mr. Jackson really wants to be able to move forward. You know, he's definitely learned his lesson in this matter, and he's already engaged himself into services. He's going to continue to engage himself into services to make himself the best father that he can be. Even if he can't be a husband, they can still be co-parents. And I really commend the two of them for putting their children first. And as Ms. Gevorkian said, it makes it very difficult. Mr. Jackson plays a very integral part of his kid's daily life. And Ms. Gevorkian does rely on him to be able to help getting the kids to and from school, to and from practices. They'd like to be able to go to practices together, games together. So, Your Honor, we would just ask you, the court, to take that into consideration. I also would again ask the court to consider giving Mr. Jackson the 769-4A status. Other than that, Your Honor, we would ask that the court lift that no contact order in regards to the do not go to the residence or employment of Anna Gevorkian. If the court should decide to leave the no contact order in place, we would ask that the court keep the wording of that to the residence or employment of Anna Gevorkian, given the fact that right now she's living in the marital home, but Mr. Jackson is receiving the marital home as part of the resolution of the divorce. And so other than that, Your Honor, we would ask the court to adopt the recommendations. I commend the probation department. Teresa did a fantastic job on this report. You can tell she spent a lot of time, and we would just ask the court to adopt the recommendation. Thank you.
Jackson, anything you want to say?
I just want to say that this has been a time to reflect. What I'm focused on right now is certainly the future, to be the best co-parent that I can be in this whole situation. It's not about me, it's about Anna, and it's about the children. And that's what I'm going to focus on.
Sentence of the court, 18 months probation, $555 fines and court costs, $540 probation oversight fees. When can that be paid?
I would ask in consideration of a payment plan, if the court would consider that.
Do you have anything today?
Yes. 200
How
today.
much?
200 today.
200 today. Balance as arranged by probation. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete a domestic violence program as directed by probation. I will change number 6 to no non-consensual contact with Anna Gevorkian. I will delete number 7, will not order that. You are not to harass, or you're not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. You are not to possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You're to report to probation as requested by probation, including any home visits. Maintain employment with verification to probation. Comply with all circuit court orders, if any. I will discontinue the sober link. I'll set a review hearing that's to be held January 8, 2024 at 1 p.m. I'll order 93 days in jail. That is suspension. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case, People versus Stephen Watson.
Good
Patricia
afternoon.
Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson, can you unmute your device and state your name for the record?
Stephen Watson.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we would like to set this case for a final settlement conference, and I would like to address bond when the court is.
Briefly, go ahead and address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Watson is in custody, I believe, because he has a probation violation, a pending probation violation of 14B. His bond is denied in that case. However, he has spoken to his attorney and believes he's going to be released by Judge Washington tomorrow. He is asking for a reduction in his bond. In this case, he is willing to post something. He just can't afford the $5,000 bond. He does have another place to stay. He's going to be living with his brother and sister. He has 2 jobs that are remaining as he's been in custody, one at GM and one for a moving company. He has been in, I believe, for 32 days. So he would like to request for a reduction in that cash bond amount.
Jury final settlement conference will be set December 8th, 2023. 9 a.m. Jury selection, December 11th, 2023 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. As far as the defendant's bond goes, what do you have as bond? 5,000 cash, surety. Pardon? Because it didn't make it onto the sheet. I got it. What is his other case that's before Judge Washington?
It's also a domestic violence case.
Motion for bond reduction denied. Thank you. Court calls case People versus Aaron Shutringer. Shutringer, I think is how it is.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, good afternoon. Joe Simon on behalf of Mr. Shutringer. Mr. Shutringer, will you state your name, please?
Aaron Shutringer.
Okay, what are we doing?
Your Honor, Mr. Shutringer only became arraigned just last week, but Ms. Reiser has, and I've been communicating today, she's extended an offer that I need to investigate with my client's family law attorney. We're asking for a brief adjournment, and I understand that offer will be noted in the file and remain.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Reiser, did you enjoy talking to Mr. Simon or no?
It was all right.
Yeah. It was okay. Okay, I'm just checking. Some people don't like it, but that's all right. Anyway, I'll adjourn the pretrial in this matter to what? October 30th, 2023 at 1 p.m. Bond will continue with its conditions. I noticed when I said something, Mr. Simon, your head immediately went down. Oh God, what's he gonna say?
The court is wise. That's all I can say.
All right, thank you. Court calls the case People versus Brian Cox.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Cox, whose appearance has been waived.
Teresa Player on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Cox was scheduled before the court today for a review hearing. He is compliant with the terms ordered by the court, and I did waive his appearance. Probation is recommending that all conditions continue as previously ordered, with the next review hearing being set January 8, 2024 at 1 p.m.
Your turn.
Your Honor, I just ask that you adopt probation's recommendation.
So you have no objection. So
No.
ordered. Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Timothy Riley.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Riley. Mr. Riley, can you unmute and state your name for the record, please?
Timothy James Riley.
Teresa Player on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Riley is scheduled before the court for technically his first review hearing following sentencing. Mr. Riley is compliant with the terms ordered by the court. Probation is asking that all conditions continue as previously ordered, with the next review hearing being set January 8th, 2024 at 1 p.m.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I'll continue all conditions as previously ordered. Schedule this next review hearing January 8th, 2024, 1 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus VJ Dandamudi.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Matt Hauser here on behalf of Mr. Dandamudi.
Is Mr. Dandamudi present?
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
is.
I do apologize. Yes, he's here, and so is Dr. Marino, the treating physician, who I'll ask to hear from a little bit later as it relates to the ongoing care that Mr. Dandamudi has been receiving and what the next action steps are.
Teresa Player on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Dandamudi is before the court for a review hearing. This court did receive a violation of the no contact order. I did provide the court with that police report of Pittsfield Township Police Department. The victim did go into the police department and provided verification to law enforcement that Mr. Dandamudi has continued to contact her. Police were able to abstract the 160 emails that he sent to the victim in this case from September 14th to October 6th of this year. Upon receipt of that, probation asked for a bench warrant, which the court did sign and was entered on October 6th. So there's currently a bench warrant in this matter at this time. Given the violation of contacting the victim, again, probation is asking that Mr. Dandamudi be remanded to serve 365 days in jail, that he report to the Washtenaw County Jail by 6 p.m., that he complete the in-jail MRT program, waive remaining terms, and discharge from probation without improvement.
Response.
Oh, yes, thank you, Your Honor. So as relates to contact occurring between Mr. Dandamudi and the victim in this case, we will stipulate to that. As for the amount of emails, I don't know what the number was. Not all 160 were attached to the report that I received last week, but we do stipulate to that there was some communication that has occurred, and therefore would agree that would be a violation of the current probation terms. Would also like to make the court aware that since the time of these events to when the sentence of the court was issued last November in 2022, Mr. Dandamudi has a meeting with Dr. Farino to work on the medical condition which he does suffer from. We would ask the court to treat this probation violation as a relapse in his treatment. And a conversation with Dr. Farino last week.
60 emails is a relapse.
It was a period of time, Your Honor. It was within about a 2-week window. This case has been going on since February of 2022. The sentence was entered in November of 2022. And in terms of the medical condition and the like, I would like to turn over to Dr. Farino, the treating physician, who is in a better position than myself to explain the medical nature and the condition that Mr. Dandamudi suffers from.
Your Honor, my name is Dr. Farino. I hope everybody can hear me. I am a board certified psychiatrist. I also have a history of working with MDOC. Mr. Dandamudi suffers from very severe bipolar.
Doctor, excuse me. I don't work this way. Do you want a hearing before I sentence him on this?
Yes, please.
Then I'll set a hearing. The bench warrant's going to remain outstanding given what I can see here. Give me a hearing, Dave.
As it relates to the bench warrant, Your Honor, Mr. Dandamudi has appeared before the court this afternoon. We received notice of this hearing late Friday afternoon and have made ourselves available at the date and time as requested.
I need a sooner date. What's 16? I'll set a hearing October 23rd, 2023, what time? At 9 a.m. I'm going to leave the bench warrant outstanding, counsel. He can turn himself into the jail or he can wait to the hearing, but that hearing's in person on that day. Thank you.
I have a
very much,
question
Mr.
then.
Chairman.
Do I also need to appear in person?
If counsel wants you there and you're going to give testimony to the court, you're going to need to appear in person.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Avenue Babe Beatty. I messed it all up. I tried.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Bridget Coombs on behalf of Mr. Dwavidi. Mr. Dwavidi, if you could state your name in full. Can you state your name, sir?
Anubhav Dwivedi.
Your Honor, we would be seeking for adjournment on this one, so that way my client gets an opportunity to speak to an immigration attorney.
Okay, how long is that going to take him?
We'd be asking for 2 weeks.
During the matter, October 30th, 2023, 1 p.m. Bond continued.
Can we address bond? So we
Why
were
not?
we're gonna ask for the no contact order be lifted. His wife is unable to drive. He has a 4-year-old son who he picks up and drops him off from school every day. It's been getting complicated with his inability to contact the wife. She also has medical issues and language barriers with no family inside the country. It's just him and her. So potentially she's been unable to go to the doctor. So for those reasons, we'd ask for the no contact to be lifted.
Do the people have a position?
Your Honor, the victim is present and I don't know if the court wants to hear from her. The people will leave it in the court's discretion.
Ma'am, is there anything you want to tell the court?
Yes, please allow us to stay together. My kid is also missing him very much and I have health issue. So I want to stay with him and I am totally safe. And it's just a misunderstanding. My neighbor complained that, but I didn't.
Don't get into the facts of the case. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay.
That you can tell her that, but go ahead. Yeah, wrong side, but
So sorry for that.
no, go ahead, ma'am. What were you going to tell me?
So I totally safe and my kid also missing him. So please allow us to back home. Please allow my husband to back home and I have health issues.
When was the arraignment? 10-2. I've adjourned it to the 30th. I will address this on the 30th. I've heard from her, but I would like some more information regarding conditions. So I'm not going to change anything at this point. The DB conditions will remain in effect, and I'll address it on the 30th.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus, is it Undy Golden Hunter?
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Bridget Coombs on behalf of Mr. Golden Hunter. Mr. Golden Hunter, if you could state your name in full.
Andy Golden Hunter.
Okay, what are we doing?
Your Honor, my client would like to plead today. He has been extended an offer by prosecution for a deferred under 4A and then count 1 be dismissed.
Got a correct statement of the offer?
Yes, Your Honor, we did offer a plea under 4A.
Sir, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I solemnly swear with that testimony that I'm about to give is about to be the truth and nothing but the truth.
State your name for the record.
Auntie Golden.
All right. You're gonna have to stay up close to your microphone or where you are, but you're moving back and forth and you break up. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're gonna plead guilty to the charge of domestic violence. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days jail, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
I don't understand.
Are you pleading guilty, not guilty, no contest? How are you pleading?
Oh, I'm pleading guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that? I didn't get the answer.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
On probation.
Pardon?
Probation.
Were you on probation at the time of this offense?
Oh, no, no, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been placed here on the record to get you to plead guilty?
Mhm.
Didn't hear a response.
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes, sir.
February 3rd, 2022, at the location of 2120 Glencoe Hills Drive, number 6, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, state of Michigan. Tell this court what you did to Amarius Warren that makes you think that you're guilty.
Domestic violence.
That's a conclusion. What is that individual's relationship to you?
So we were dating.
All right. And what did you do regarding that person?
Attack.
Okay. Specifically, what do you mean by attack?
So we were in a situation and we were intoxicated and it's escalated really quick to the point to where feelings was getting riled up, and out of like a blackout moment, I attacked him.
Well, I'm not taking his plea if he's claiming he's blacked out. That's it. I'm done. We're going to set this for trial.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Coons, what do you want to do?
We could do a final settlement conference.
Or October or December. Final settlement conference in this matter. Jury final settlement conference will be December 8th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, December 11th, 2023 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Bond will continue with its conditions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls case, People versus Jason Through.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Jason True. Mr. True, if you can turn on your camera, turn on your microphone and state your name in full.
Jason True.
Your Honor, we'd like to set this one up for final settlement conference.
Jury final settlement conference, December 8th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Thank you. Jury selection, December 11th, 2023 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Bond with its conditions will continue. Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Leander Wade.
Good
Patricia
afternoon.
Reiser on behalf of the people.
I'm sorry. Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Wade. Mr. Wade, unmute and state your name for the record, please.
Hello, my name is Leander Wade.
And what are we doing?
Your Honor, we would like to set this for final settlement conference, please.
Jury final settlement conference, December 8th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Jury selection, December 11th, 2023 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Bond
December
will
8th.
continue with its conditions. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
And Charlie's here.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Good
Thank you.
afternoon, Charlie. You're in front of the Honorable J. Cedric Simpson out of the 14th District Court, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. We need your assistance with one matter. Our number is 1423.
Thank you very much. The interpreter is ready.
Thank you. Can you please raise your right hand to the floor? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will interpret accurately, completely, and impartially using your best judgment and to translate from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English in the manner now before the court? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Court does call the case of the People versus Pablo Perez.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Hold on. Got to give the
Sorry.
interpreter time. It's all right.
Thank you very much. Este tribunal hace el llamado del caso de la ciudad en contra, o el estado en contra del señor Pablo Pérez, y tenemos representando a la señorita Reiser. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Perez.
Representando al señor Pérez tenemos a la defensora pública, la señorita Lauren, y al estado representando al estado la señorita Patricia Reiser. Thank you.
Mr. Perez, please state your name for the record.
Favor de mencionar su nombre para el acta o grabación, señor Pérez.
Me llamo Pablo Pérez Hernández.
My name is Pablo Perez Hernandez.
Okay, what are we doing on this case?
Your Honor, I am I'm sorry.
El tribunal, el señor juez pregunta de qué manera se va a proceder en este caso.
Your Honor, I am requesting an adjournment.
La señorita Pereni, Lauren, está solicitando a este tribunal a través del señor juez un aplazamiento del caso.
I think we will be able to resolve this case, but Mr. Perez needs to speak with an immigration attorney.
Creo que vamos a no tener ningún problema realmente resolviendo este caso siempre y cuando el señor Pablo Pérez pueda hablar con un abogado de asuntos migratorios.
Will 2 weeks be enough for that to happen?
El juez pregunta si 2 semanas son suficientes para que pueda hacerse eso.
I think so, Your Honor.
La abogada contesta que piensa que sí.
Sí. Sí.
Yes.
Matter will be adjourned October 30th, 2023, 1 p.m.
Este caso queda entonces aplazado para la fecha 30 de octubre de 2023 a la 1 p.m.
Perdón.
Bond will continue with its conditions.
Se prorroga la fianza bajo estas condiciones estipuladas.
All right. Thank you.
Gracias. If that's all for the interpreter, thank you again for using our services.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Charlie.
Perdón.
My pleasure.
Una pregunta.
Hold it.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Mr. Perez seems to have a question. Should I translate?
Yes, please,
Absolutely.
sir.
My pleasure. Sí, señor.
¿Cuándo sería otra vez el día de corte?
When is my next court date due?
October 30th, 2023, 1 p.m.
30 de octubre de 2023 a la 1 p.m.
30 de octubre, la 1 p.m.
October 30th, 1 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Así es.
Yes.
Ok. Y sería lo mismo lo que estoy usando en esa aplicación.
Do I have your permission, Your Honor, to clarify that question?
Yes. Go
Thank
ahead.
you very much. Pero, señor Pérez, no entendí la pregunta. ¿Me repite o pregunta otra vez?
Y también sería así participar así por el teléfono de aplicación Zoom.
Okay. Is it going to be via Zoom, next court date as well?
Yes, it will.
Así es.
Ok.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you for
Igualmente.
disconnecting. Call. Have a nice day.
Gracias.
Calls the case of the people versus Benjamin Dillon.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Dillon. Mr. Dillon is incarcerated in the Adams County, Indiana jail. He is serving a 1-year sentence from July, I believe it began. I did send him a letter. I have not heard back from him. I'm asking if we can possibly just set it out after July of next year, so we can get in touch with him when he gets out. Otherwise,
Did you say July of next year?
yeah, that's his estimated out date. I did try to schedule a phone call or a Zoom with Adams County Jail, and they do not allow their non-public defender attorneys to do so. So it's the only way I can get in touch with him is if he contacts me at this time.
But you sent him a letter.
Yeah.
Give me a date in December this time.
December.
I'll adjourn it out to December 4th. Let's see what happens. I'm not going all the way out to July if I can help it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.